Hoe-busters Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Derry Michelle, and today we have a wonderful guest named G, who is also a fellow podcaster. We are going to be just chopping it up and hearing some of her life experience with us. We are going to be finding out what it's like overcoming some of life's difficulties, healing, and working to rebuild ourselves because we know how life be life before it's all, right? I'm really looking forward to conversing with her and gaining some new insights, having a little bit of fun, and getting a few laughs in too, because I believe this is what we all need to help us to stay encouraged, motivated, and working on becoming better versions of ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. How's your day going?
It's going. It's been a long day, but I've been waiting for this moment, so I'm really excited about tonight.
Well, I'm excited.
So I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I really love your energy. I love your content. And I've been following you for a little while.
Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to my chance to be on your show too, because y'all really be cutting up.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I have so many ideas, and I know you're so much fun. I love the energy. Anyway, so
thank you, sweetheart.
It's gonna be good.
So to kick off my show, I usually like to ask a fun icebreaker question. Looking back at when you were younger, what was your silliest fear?
So I'm so glad you asked. I still have this fear as an adult. I have an irrational fear that when you kill a bug, if it's like a bug that's normally in a colony, like an ant or anything like that, that it's like family members might get upset and come after you. I don't know why. Like if I'm about to stomp one out, I'm gonna look around, make sure its homies aren't there, and then I gotta do what I gotta do.
That is so funny.
I don't know.
Oh, well, you know what? I have a really goofy fear too. You know what? I blame my cousins. When I was like, let's say 7, 8 years old, right? My mom's sister had these birds, and she had like the big bird cage from what I remember. And it probably was like 4 or 5 birds in the cage. But because my cousins were comfortable with them, they'd take the birds out. They could hold them and, they could fly around the house and they'll come back to their cage. And so when I went over there, we used to have, they used to watch us in the summertime. So I went to their house. This was like this probably happened at least 2 or 3 different times, 3 different occasions. And they would take me and lock me in the room and throw the birds in the room. And they'd hold the door shut. Oh my God. I can't get out. And the birds are flying around and there's feathers all over. And I'm screaming Bloody Mary. And I'm trying to flip mattresses. And I'm trying to do everything to get away from these birds. And they just thought it was the funniest thing ever, right? And I'm like, y'all don't understand the trauma. Even as an adult, I still struggle with birds. My kids, like, if we're going to the grocery store, the birds be out there eating shit. And I'm like, Dion, get the bird out of mommy's way. He's like, oh, I get him for you, Mom. So he's like my little hero. And he has to,
wow.
I had to literally therapy for this shit. And so, like, I like to take walks.
That's crazy.
And so my therapist, like, you have to find a way to, like, cope. So in these later years, since getting some help for this phobia, when I'm taking walks, I have to clap them away. Somebody see a bird on the fence, I clap.
I understand that as well. Man, I'm listening to you. Right. I was going to say, listening to you talk about it, I'm realizing how inconvenient a true phobia of birds would be because they are really everywhere.
They are.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. And then when I have to go to New York, the pigeons are everywhere and they are ruthless. They don't give a fuck. They are like, listen, you better get out of my way, okay? And so, yeah, that's a fear I have, but I think that's always kind of a funny little question.
Wow.
So thank you.
That is, I like your answer way better. I love your answer. That's crazy. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Girl, me too.
Wow.
And I always told myself, when my cousins have kids, I'm going to terrorize the hell out of these children. And then they had kids, and those are my babies. And I'm like, oh, I love my babies. I can't with them. I'm not eating right. Thank you for listening to that story. Lord have mercy. I don't know if I shared that one
Of course. I loved it.
Well,
I loved it.
Tell me this. Tell me where you've been. Tell me a little bit more about your geographic journey. Like, where were you born? Were you raised? Where you currently live?
I'm so glad you asked. No one ever asked me questions like this. So I was born and raised in the U.S. It's significant because the rest of my family was born in Puerto Rico. So I'm like the one true American, I guess you could say. And but I grew up in the most random spot that a Puerto Rican could be. It was like a valley in West Virginia. We were like in the middle of these mountains, a very country town. And then when we finally moved from there, we went to Kentucky, and it was another small country town. So now I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Nice.
Huge
I can
difference.
imagine.
Completely different. Yeah. So yeah,
Like
I've been
Kentucky.
around a couple places. You know what? It was nice. I like the landscape. I like the people. I spent the majority of my time in Kentucky, but
Okay.
just small town America. It was I didn't realize how small of a town it was until I got here.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville's a whole different story.
How long have
Yeah.
you been in Florida?
Shoot, I moved in 15.
Mm.
So I guess 10 it's about to be. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I was just telling someone the
yeah.
other day, they're like, oh, you're from Connecticut. And I'm like, yeah. One of the trainers at my job, because she was from New York. And she's like, well, you don't sound like Connecticut. You
Mhm.
sound country. And I'm like, well, I've been here almost 20 years now. That's crazy. Like right after high school, I came to North Carolina.
Wow.
I had to get the hell out of there, girl.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dang, so this is like more than half my life now. I've been down here. So yeah, I feel like a real country girl now, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're like I should claim it now.
I
I've
guess
been
I
here long
should.
enough.
I should. I
Absolutely.
mean, I'm trying because I'm
I
here.
love
I don't
that.
think I'm going nowhere else at this point. So
Yeah.
right. But so you are a podcast host. So tell us about Life with G.
Oh my goodness. Shoot, where do I start? Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been doing it for a little over a year now.
Nice.
And I'm loving it. We're in our fourth season. We just started that after the New Year's. It started on a dating app. So
Wow.
that's like an interesting twist.
Yeah. Tell us about
So
what do you mean?
yeah.
How did you get started on a dating app?
So right immediately after I moved out of the house with my ex-husband, I didn't want a man, but I wanted attention from a man. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I was
do
like, where
understand.
can I go? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I just wanted to flirt a little bit. I just want to feel good. So I downloaded a couple dating apps, and then I was on there and I was like, this is not what it was like dating in college. This is a whole different thing. And I realized that if I didn't actually want to engage, but I wanted to be hit on, that going live on there was the best place to do it.
Now,
Didn't
which
have to be
app
in
were
the
you
DMs.
using?
So I started out on Meet Me. And
Okay.
I think Meet Me is also combined with Plenty of Fish. So on
Okay.
both of those, you can go live. And
Nice.
then I got kicked off of Meet Me. I don't know how I got kicked off. I really didn't do anything crazy. I promise I didn't. But somehow I got blocked out of my account. And then I went to Tagged, and Tagged is how the podcast started. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Now, were you doing it by
Yeah.
yourself?
Initially, I was doing it by myself, and then
Okay.
I just got a kick out of it. I just thought the people that were coming in there were hilarious. The things they were saying were off the wall because it's everybody, different countries, everybody can see this and interact.
Okay.
And I was telling my homegirl about it, had
Yeah.
her hop on, and that it just kind of went from there.
That is something. So, what were your
Yeah.
experiences like on a dating apps? Did you meet people? Were you going out? Tell me what it was like.
So the fact I haven't gone to Miami and I grew up in these small town America, I still have like social anxiety. So
Really?
this was the best place. I was like, I would be the most comfortable on a dating app versus going to the bar or anything.
Mhm.
So dating apps, especially ones with streaming services included in it, like it's a very interesting group of people that you encounter. I've met
Yeah.
a lot of really nice people on there, men and women, just like homegirls.
Yeah.
But as far as dating, I don't know. I haven't found quality for real on any of these online dating sites, but I hear it's not that quality if you're not on a dating site. So I don't know.
It sounds like
I
it's
don't
pretty
know.
much trash all around.
Difficult.
It is difficult. And, for me, like in the last few years since COVID, I've been working remote from home 100%. So it used to be nice when I
Mhm.
go to the office and me and my coworkers would go out to lunch and you're kind of exposed to people and I'd go out with my friends on occasion. But once I started working from home, it was like, oh, I'm in the house all the time. Like how the hell would I meet someone? So even, I just like you when
Yeah.
I knew I was getting out of my marriage and I think I jumped on Tinder because that's all I heard about was Tinder. And so I'm on Tinder and I'm
Oh, what
swiping.
was that like? I've
You
never
know,
done Tinder. What was that like?
so I think I did two. I did Tinder and then I did BLK. It's a dating app for like black folks. And so when I tell you
Okay.
Tinder was kind of like it just felt like everybody was just trying to hook up and I was like, nah. So I
Mhm.
might have met one guy off Tinder He was very sweet, took me on a lot of very nice dates. But then he had some
Okay.
personal family things going on. Like his daddy had a stroke. So from there, it was like he
No.
has too much going on. And so it never really went past us going in on a few days
Mm,
talking on the phone. But
dang.
so I switched to the BLK app. And girl, initially I'm like, this can't be real because the men were so fine. I'm like, these gotta be like, like the bot pages. Like, there's no way these men really look like this here in Charlotte, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
matching left and right with all kinds of people, and
Mm-hmm.
I met a lot of men off off the BLK app because everybody wanted to take me out. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down. So
Absolutely. And you look like that. Hell yeah.
so I definitely
Mm-hmm.
had a good time on that one. I mean, I probably can't count. I learned the term serial dater. So in the last year, I realized
Okay.
I have been a serial dater, and I
As
have
you
gone out.
should.
You know what? Because I didn't have that time. Like I met my ex when I was 8
Right.
and fresh into college. He just swooped me up so freaking hard and so fast that I'm so loyal that I was like, no, that's my one and only. And so I
Yeah.
missed that chance to go, like being on a college campus, dating around, or being in my
Absolutely.
young 20s and going out and dating around because I had my daughter when I was 25. And so I lost a lot of that time,
Mm,
experiencing all the fun, but I'm having it now, baby. Trust and believe.
yeah.
So I enjoyed it,
Absolutely.
but I think I'm just not in a space to want to be in a relationship, just like you were saying, right? And so my experience was meeting some of these guys, they either want to fuck or they're like trying to lock down a wife and get married. And so I think a lot of men too,
Mm,
and I wonder if you experienced this, like when men hear that you've been married for as long as you were, because how long were you married or with your ex?
shoot. Altogether 6 years. The marriage was 4 of
Okay.
those years.
So
Yeah.
so I'm finding like when people hear you are married, it's like, okay, well, she's loyal. She already knows the wife thing. I'm just
Hmm.
looking for somebody who ready to come in and help me take care of my administrative duties and financial and cooking and the cleaning and the house and all that. You know what I mean? And so it was some people who were just so ready to
Hmm.
dive in so fast. I had men asking my ring size, and it was just like, sir, slow the hell down. So then I just kind of was like, okay,
I
let
don't
me
know.
let me fall back.
Yeah, I don't know what the misconception is because same when they find out you've been a wife, they think you want to be a wife again. It's like no, I divorced for a reason. Give me a minute, give me a minute, and they just don't. It's like I'm trying to find myself again because being a wife, you're in such a supportive role, especially in the type of relationships we experience, right? So it's like I'm trying to find me again because I was living for him, I wasn't living for me. So
Thank
yeah, you
you.
got to give it some time. Yeah.
Thank you. My therapist is like, take two
Hmm.
years, be single, enjoy it, find yourself, get back into all the things you love, find some new things you're gonna love that you don't even know yet,
Yeah.
and really focus on those kids because this has been such an adjustment for them. Like, because you're a mom as well. How was your baby?
My children, oh my gosh, I'm terrible because I always forget. My son's 7 and my daughter will be 6 next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got it. You had them close. So
Yeah.
you did it right. I have a
Yeah.
5 year gap. So my daughter's 13. My son is 8. And I really wish I had done
Oh,
it
okay.
closer together, but that's just not how life worked out for
Mhm.
me. But
Yeah.
it was so many things that I just had a moment. I'm gonna say like a couple months ago, right, where I had to go to my
Mhm.
son's parent teacher conference, and he's struggling. My daughter's struggling a bit in school as well, and I just
Mm.
came home and I remember just having almost a meltdown like, oh my God. I just so regret that if I wasn't in that situation for so long, dealing with the stress, the anxiety, the headaches, the cheating, the lying, the panic attacks, I could have been a better mom to my kids. I could have been spending
Mm.
more time with their reading, spending more time doing homework, spending more time helping with the fundamentals because he started pre K right when COVID hit. And so that's such a critical
Yeah.
year for a little person to learn their alphabets and writing and all this stuff. And I was in the middle of so much bullshit that I wasn't fully present. And so I
Right.
just think about like, man, if I
Right.
had the strength to leave a little bit sooner, I could have been better. So now it's like my mission, like, nah, we're gonna do homework every night, y'all. We're gonna make sure we're on top of our schoolwork. We're gonna make
Mm-hmm.
sure, we try to limit the devices where even now, like I had him on Hooked on Phonics and stuff, and I found some other little apps on the
Mm-hmm.
iPad that he can use. Like instead of just being on there looking at mindless YouTube videos, actually do some of these interactive games where he's learning to count money, he's learning multiplication,
Mm-hmm.
he's learning, his verbs and his adjectives. It's like these are the things that I wish I had spent more time on sooner. But because I wasn't there mentally, I was fucked up. I just feel so bad for like how they were deprived. And I don't think people really
Right.
understand that you can't do it all. Like when you're mentally in a bad space, and mostly because of your relationship, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many things that your children are missing out on. You can't do for them. My daughter ended up
Yeah.
gaining a lot of weight, and I just felt bad because that one time health and fitness was like my thing. Like I'm working out, I'm going to the gym, and then it just fell off. And so she's seeing here,
Yeah.
watching me sit on my ass eating. She develops these habits. It's like one thing connects to next. And so I'm so
Mm-hmm.
grateful now that I
Yeah.
don't have like the dead weight, and I don't have to carry that. I don't have to worry about all the, I'm like all the open rabbit holes in my mind of what's this, who's this, who's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like that's just doesn't even exist anymore. So now I can be totally there
Yeah.
for the kids. And I think of anything, that's probably been the best part of divorce for me.
For sure. And
What's
then
been the
your
best
kids
part?
get to see that growth too.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
absolutely.
I
Oh,
think it lagged. Go ahead.
I think it is. It's okay. But I was gonna say, what's been the best part for you?
Best part about divorce for me, I really think truly it was me finding myself in a lot of ways, in good ways and in bad ways. I spending all that time alone, I had to really look in the mirror and ask myself if I liked my own company.
Hmm.
Um and then just going into my hobbies and in my crafts, I had all this free time because I was one of them like, let me cook for you, let me clean all the time. Oh, you didn't put that up? I'll do it, baby. I was one
Hmm.
of them. So because
Yep.
of that, I'm like, oh, I have all this free time. Now I can write music, I can paint, I can start a podcast.
Yes.
And I've loved that part, seeing the
Yeah.
growth in myself.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, how long have you been divorced, G?
Oh gosh. So I officially a little over a year, but we were separated since 2019. We just waited a
Wow.
really long time on the paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah. Who prolonged the paperwork? Was it you? Was it him?
It was kind of mutual because I felt at that point I didn't even want to look to see how much a divorce costs to get. I just knew it cost money, and I was like, "You've taken enough from me, sir. You
Mm.
pay for it." And
Wow.
that's how it was. Of course, he wasn't going to come out of pocket, but I was like, "Enough. I'm
Yeah.
not with anybody else right now. That's not a concern. So you take as long as you need." But I ended up actually still petitioning for it, but it took some years. I had to get really angry before
Mm.
I finally did it.
Now,
Yeah.
I know in different states the process for divorce is different. What was it like in Florida?
It was so I did everything myself, no lawyer.
Me too, girl.
I didn't really, yeah, and I really didn't understand. Shout out to my homegirl Shelly because she helped me put that together.
I know that's right.
Because I didn't know what I was doing. Right, I didn't know what I was doing. She was like, "Girl, I've been divorced. I got you," and I was like, "Yes."
Yes.
But yeah, our divorce should have been processed a lot sooner, but they started, and I don't know the specifics, so I don't want to be quoted on it. But in the process, after I petitioned for the divorce, it took so long for them to finalize it because they were changing laws in Florida. So it
Mm.
went from being a mother state to very 50-50. And then my female judge was replaced with a male judge. And it was a Zoom call that lasted, girl, 7 minutes. Three of them, I was in the lobby. So 4 minutes and it was done. There was no questions. It said no fault state. So they
Okay.
didn't care what he did. None of
Mm.
it mattered. And I got put on child support because he wanted his time 50-50. It was when I tell you
What?
anger, I was so angry. So
That's
angry.
crazy. So y'all split the
Yeah.
kids 50-50. What's that look like?
He stays like 5 minutes up the street because that's
Okay.
how I don't understand how this happened to me, but he stays 5 minutes up the street. So, it's a week, it's week on, it's week off. We now
Okay.
are very cordial. We can co-parent,
That's good.
very well, but So it works, but it was like before that, I was primarily with the kids. So I
Yeah.
thought it would stay that way. And in those 4 minutes, he looked at the judge and he said, I don't want to just be a weekend dad. News to me. And then he was like, okay, well, you don't have to be.
Wow.
And that's where it was. And then I
You
made more than him because I felt like I hustled harder because you're a single mom. You got to do what you got to do. So it's one, two, three. At one point, I had 3 jobs at one time. And I'm
wow.
like,
Yep.
just until the divorce. Once the divorce happens, I'll get help.
Oh
And
my
no, they
goodness.
said, no, you help him for 18. I said, okay,
That is, girl,
tired,
I have heard it
stressed.
all. I am, look, I'm baffled. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because I guess
Yeah.
in my mind, if y'all doing 50-50, there probably would be no child support. Like, because he's got just as much time as you.
You would think.
Girl, let me not go to Florida. The hell? Now, I thought our laws was kind
Yes.
of
Yeah,
fucked up.
ladies, be careful.
Oh my
Be
God.
careful. And it was crazy because it looked like, and it could have just been my emotions, but it looked like the judge, it was a male judge. It looked like he was happy to do it. And look, I
He was.
understand sometimes, you see someone and it's like, okay, she's trying to take him for all he's worth unnecessarily. So I can understand, but this isn't that. And
Right.
to have gone through everything I went through and just be like, once this divorce is final, I'm going to get help. That's all I need. I don't want nothing from you. I'll get help. And no,
Right.
when that fell through, I was like, "Oh no."
Oh my
Yeah.
girl, my heart goes out. I couldn't, girl, I'd
I
be ready to
appreciate
shut it the fuck off. Oh my God. My God.
Yeah. But I do want to I'll give credit to the father of my child cuz he said he didn't want me on papers, but still like if anything else,
Right.
but yeah. So it was a crazy situation for sure.
It sounds like it. Goodness gracious. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad y'all in a space where y'all can co-parent and be civil and work together. I mean, I'm meeting so many
Mhm.
people through my show and my friends who it's like impossible. For me and my ex, it's so difficult. We can only text. We
Mhm.
cannot get on the phone. Even girl, bringing in New Year's, this man started the worst fight with me the other night. And we are through text messages fighting till 3 o'clock in the morning going back and forth. You
Mhm.
bitch, you this, you stupid ass. Because I was trying to get my kids in the bed at a decent time. You're trying to take my kids and not let me talk to them. Like, shut up. They need to get back on the schedule. They've been staying up
Yeah.
till 2 o'clock in the morning, sleep until noon, and they start school in 4 days. We kind of got to pull it back in, right? And so I think it's so
Yeah.
frustrating because he is just the weekend dad. He has them only about 100 hours a month, I say. It's like you don't understand what goes into this every day. Having to be on top of
Yeah.
school, sports, their activities.
Yeah.
I so wish in my heart that we could get to that space where we could just be civil, do what needs to be done, possibly get on the phone. Let me tell you what your daughter's been doing at school. It's like we're just so
Yeah.
short. It's almost like bullet points. Like, here's what's going on. This happened at school. This is this and this. They got practice this day. This is this. Any questions? Bye. And it's like
Right.
it's what
Right.
he better be glad I even
And
give
and
that
it
much. Ugh,
exactly. And it's one of those things. I mean, we've had moments. I was just beefing with him a couple weeks ago. But it's very we're look, at the end of the day, we really just focus on the kids. And
yeah.
and I've just learned to kind of just he's not changing. And a lot of my anger comes from like you the same person that I left. And that pisses me off because I left you and I was hoping you would be better. Not for me, for the kids. And you still
Thank
acting the
you.
same. So
Thank
that's
you.
where it comes from. And then I'm just like, let it go. Cause it's not this is why you left. You ain't gotta deal with it as best as I can. But yeah, if you're dealing with them being combative with you too, I've dealt with that. And it's not a fun place to be in at
It's not.
all.
And it takes so much, I say, mental work to try to like, okay, don't let him get into my energy. Don't let him take my day. Don't let.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lose sleep over
Hmm.
this idiot because, like you said, this is not new. This is who he is. But when you're on this end
Hmm.
of it, like I would see how he handled relationships or friendships and talk bad about people and be so mean and just evil at times. And I'm like, God, but now I'm
Yeah.
on the receiving end of this. This is some bullshit. And it's like, and of course, with
Yep.
me starting my show kind of off the basis of our relationship and him calling me the Hoe-buster and all that stuff, he just hates it. He thinks I've never watched a minute of your clown ass show. Whatever. All your family and friends are watching, though, so I can give a fuck.
I was
And
gonna say like you don't have to. I wouldn't watch it either if I was
wouldn't
you.
want to watch
Of
it either
course
because
he's
it would be
not.
torture to sit there and hear my
Yeah.
side. Like if he started something, I probably wouldn't want to watch it either. I wouldn't give a damn. I had no intentions of being a YouTuber. Actually, I did want to do YouTube. I wanted to show cooking videos because we were vegans for like
Okay.
7 years, and people always
Oh,
love my
wow. Okay.
recipes. And me and him together lost a lot of weight at one time. So I'm like, okay, this might be fun. Let me do these videos and start showing people how I cook. But it was always like the camera on the counter. You never seen anything but my hands and what I'm doing. I didn't want to be on
Mm-hmm.
camera and showing my face and stuff. So this was not the plan. I can't believe even
Right.
8 months later, I'm still doing this shit, girl.
And now you're here. And I feel like it's addicting. I can tell just from your personality and watching your previous episodes, which are amazing, by the way. You can tell
Thanks,
that
girl.
you love to do this. Even if it was by accident, this is yours now. And you definitely own it. I love it.
I love
That's
it
how it
too.
goes.
So, I'm a natural talker. I'm definitely my daddy's child. We can talk. I could get on the phone with my
Hmm.
best friend. It'll be 5, 6 hours later. We like, bitch, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We got to go to work
Yeah.
tomorrow. We might as well record
Hmm.
these conversations because they be great. But I just love
That's
being.
exactly how mine started.
Yeah, so I ran like a contest for the holidays, and I was blown away. Like first of all, I was like, I'm gonna give like $150 cash, and it was a series of steps. I'm like, let's see if anybody actually does all 5 steps, right? Girl, I got
Right.
like 40 something entries, and I'm like, well,
See?
that's surprising. And I was so
Hmm.
excited when I saw the winner was this young girl from the Philippines, and I'm like, how the hell did you
Oh,
find my show? And she's like, my cousins
I
put me
love
on.
that.
I thought that was so sweet. So
Aw.
it's so many people. Like I love looking at the analytics of like my website and seeing where people are tapping in from like Australia and the UK and
Yes.
Canada. I'm like, this
Yes.
I never imagined. But I'm like, you know what? Just being here, like, oh my God, I gotta just keep going now because now I'm in it. Like I was up till like 3 o'clock last night working on
Yeah.
this episode. And I'm like, okay, I'm invested. I love it. And it's just so much
Yeah.
fun because it's like I can use everything from talking and just being me and being goofy and silly and then using my graphic skills. Girl, because like I said, I
Yes.
really love computer graphics and technology. It's been so many years since I touched it. And so my degrees, I just feel like they were
Mhm.
going to waste. I'm really excited to be
I
able
feel
to
that.
get that going. Well, tell us about how you and your ex met.
So we were college sweethearts.
Really?
I
Okay.
think he like even though we went to the same college, he seen me on campus, but he still DM me because he was scary back then. But yeah, that's how we met.
I got the same story, and it's kind of interesting when I see how many couples who are going through divorce, and especially just the people again through my show and even like my
Hmm.
circle of friends. I had When I was leaving my husband, I had 6 friends at the time who were going through divorce. A lot of us met in school or in college.
Hmm.
And I think when you're at this age, you're like your mid 30s, approaching 40, you're such a different person. We're not kids anymore. We've kind of gone through,
Yeah.
those early stages and early years. And
When you get in a serious relationship that young, it's a whole different bond because you're growing up together. But then I
yeah,
feel like that also leads to a lot of conflict because we've never experienced life like this. We've never experienced true adulthood. And now
yeah,
it's stressful. Adulthood is stressful as hell. And
it's
now I'm
very,
going through it with someone who, yeah, and it's like that's a lot of weight on a relationship alone, but it also makes you want to lock in that much more. So those are hard to get out of.
it is very hard. Now, tell me what it was like, I guess, going through your healing process. Did you go through therapy? Did you go back to church? Did you just have to take some time and, get into reading, get into meditation, yoga? What did it take for you?
I had like a whole spiritual awakening experience. It was just a lot of like female empowerment
Hmm.
sort of vibes, meditating, just really like shadow work if you're familiar with that concept.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, that's really what it took. It was just like a lot of internal work and I just really surrounded myself with women that I aspired to be like.
Yeah,
Um and that's how I got through it. And I'm still healing. I'm not completely healed, but that's
right.
how we're getting through it.
Absolutely. I was just sharing that with somebody because they left me some feedback on one of my videos. It was a guy, actually, I went to high school with him and I didn't even realize who he was. He just kept seeing these
Mhm.
messages. Like, girl, I know you. You don't remember me. We used to have lunch and stuff together. And I'm like, oh my God, it's you. And he's like, you need to work on your healing. You need to work on this. You need to work on. And I'm like, sir, I'm doing all of that. But healing just looks different
Mhm.
for everyone. You know what I mean? Some people are
Yeah.
able to move on quickly and just bounce right back to whatever. And some people, it's like they really truly invest that time and really want to do better. But just taking time to like do some more reading, which I wasn't doing for a while, and taking time to even I say channel what you're taking in, what you're watching on the TV.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching, I love my murder shows, girl, love them. But I was like, let me fall back from
Okay.
my murder shows and first 48s and snap. I almost snapped myself, and I don't want to be on the next episode. So it was like just girl, I'm telling you, because they'll push you, they'll take you there.
I know it.
It's a really it's an awesome process. I say just being able to practice being by myself for a while. So even I'm gonna say I'm maybe like towards the end of the summer, let me delete the dating apps. Let me get myself to a place where I can survive without my phone going off the hook. Like it's like I constantly needed like stimulation, and I needed to always have someone to talk to. Anytime I went out with my friends, it was always like, what are we doing? Where are we going? I kind of was like the leader of the pack, you know what I mean? So when I had the freedom to be out, it was like, now I can get all my bitches. We going out all the time. We hitting these bars, we hitting these clubs.
Yeah.
I definitely like to be on the scene. And I'm very tall. I'm almost 6 feet. So just wherever I go, it's like, and then I love heels. So I'll be 6'5", 6'6" when I go out.
Okay,
But it was just like,
then.
I just was on
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna be seen out here. Because I feel like I went
Yes.
so long being like a little caged animal. You know what I mean? Like I tell
Yeah.
people all the time, like, I made parole and I'm motherfucking out now. Like,
So how long have you been divorced again?
girl, my divorce was finalized the end of this. Excuse me, damn, we're in a new year. The end of February.
Okay.
Last thing I did.
Okay. So I was going to ask because you mentioned like losing friends, and I lost a lot of homegirls right after my separation. So I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like that's just something that happens.
Now tell me this: were your friends
Yeah.
in relationships or were they single?
They were single. Well,
Really?
actually, you know what? No, they acted single. No, two were in relationships, but they acted single. You know you did. And then the other one was single with me. But yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
my closest one, who was actually the one who introduced me to my ex, she was in a she from my understanding still is in a long-term relationship. And when I got back in these streets, I think it just did something to her ex where he was like, I don't want you messing with her. She's gonna try to pull you outside with
Yeah.
her. I don't, she's out here trying to be seen everywhere. She's cocky, she's this. And it was like, damn, that's how you felt. And like, like you get real cool with some of your friends, boyfriends or husbands. That's how I
Yeah,
felt
yeah. They
with
become
us.
family.
So it was like,
Mm.
hold up, like this is how it is, because you didn't seem to feel that way before.
Yeah.
I was in the misery, and when I was stressed and I'm walking around and I'm crying and I'm looking a fucking mess, but now that I'm actually happy and I have some confidence that I didn't have before, this worries you. And I'm in this space where, me prior to divorce let so much slide. I let people get away with murder with me. I wouldn't address anything. It's like, oh, I don't want the
Mm.
confrontation. Very much of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
But after, I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
fuck that. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it. And I don't care who's offended. I don't care how many feelings I hurt, because y'all motherfuckers don't care about hurting my feelings. And when I had to
Mm-hmm.
express to her, yo, you really let me the fuck down. I haven't heard from her since.
She
That you
never
disappointed.
responded. She never said nothing back at all.
No. So when I lost them, that really had to force me into like this space where it's like you gotta learn how to be, like you said, and learn to enjoy your own company. Learn how to be
Yeah.
okay with you. Learn how to keep yourself entertained and occupied, and learn how to control your thoughts too, because
Yeah.
you can sit and ruminate on situations for so long if you allow yourself to, and it'll just keep you in that mental space. And so I had to really just learn to make
Yeah.
peace with it. It's all good. I'ma love you from the distance. But this is just what it is. And that's a painful thing to go through
Yeah.
too. It's like losing your man, losing some of your friends. I think, we've got
Yeah.
these like pages online, and the divorce pages and happy single pages and stuff, where they make it look fun, but there's a part of this whole there's a part of going through divorce that is so painful. I went through a span of like months where everybody I see was like, you just look so happy, you're smiling so hard. And because I went years, I couldn't crack a damn smile, I couldn't even fake it. And so it's like,
Mm.
even underneath the smiles, it's still so much pain there. It's still so much that, you have to work through. I think also you worry
Yeah.
that when you leave them, like, damn, he's gonna learn his lesson, and now he's gonna move on and be this better man for the next bitch, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
She's gonna get the version of the man I always thought I'd get, because now he's gonna move
Mm-hmm.
on and improve. And honey, let me
Yeah.
tell you, I said we gotta let that shit go, because I have learned firsthand and through too many stories that is just not the case. Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
When you're in this healed phase of life now, what are some of the best ways for you
Mm.
to cope with, like, the difficulties that come with sometimes co-parenting, or even just being a single mom, dealing with just stresses in life? And I think we all kind of have some different coping styles.
Yeah. I love being, what is the term called? My goodness. I love being a little bit delusional, a little bit in denial. I used to hyper focus on what tomorrow was going to be, what 10 years from now was going to be. Oh my god, I'm 30 and I'm still not with somebody. Anything like that.
Yeah,
And now I've kind of shifted. I don't know if it's necessarily super good for me, but now I'm like, okay, we're going to worry about today. We're only going to worry about
yeah,
today, and tomorrow
right,
is a new chance, and we're going to just handle tomorrow as we handle tomorrow. So just giving myself more grace, giving the people around me more grace as well, and then
yeah,
just choosing to it's just making a conscious choice to try to stay positive. It's
yeah.
difficult, but I really have to sit back and be like, okay, I can't let this mess up my energy. I need to like reel it in.
I definitely understand.
For me, when I get super mad, especially with my baby daddy, I'm like, okay, let me go do this, that, and the third. I start to be extra productive. The last situation, the last dude that I was talking to, he used to be like, can you sit down? Like, it's okay to just sit down. And that was probably one of the most peaceful relationships I've been with, because he forced me to, like, hey, that can wait, sit down. I'm like, okay, you
Wow.
know what? You're right. I will
Hmm.
sit down. So yeah.
I'm with that. You want to find a
Yeah.
way to just be numb to it all, you know? And so
Yeah.
I can see how people get so caught up in drinking and, just anything to just numb that shit. But again, I think it all, again, boils down to, like, finding that time and being in that space where it's like, I'm going to just cut
Yeah.
all this shit out, and I just got to deal with it. I just got to really deal. And
Yeah.
you come out stronger on the other side. So yeah, that's been a challenge for me. But yeah, just knowing how much time I invested throughout my day in my bathroom or in my garage getting high, now it's like, okay, I got to fill that time doing something productive now. So
Yeah.
that's when I started
Yeah.
seeing
No, I
things
get
taking
that.
off with the show and picking up followers,
Mhm.
and, like I said, getting into
Yeah.
the studio and doing that. So tell me what you got in store for Life with G in the next few months, or this coming year.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because this season we're adding so many more guests. So I'm really excited to have you on our show. I have so many fun ideas for us. And then I want to start a girl series, because right now, Life with G got hijacked in season 3 by nothing but men. So I don't know if
Okay,
you ever saw some of those clips,
I
but it
did.
started out with me and my homegirl, and then podcasting is it's my dream. She always did it for me. And it
Yeah,
got really time consuming because I love it so much. So when we started live streaming, she was like, I don't really have the capacity for it. And I respected it.
yeah.
And then the people who came through were the homies. And then I ended up on a podcast with 3 men.
Oh my goodness.
And they're mansplaining to me, and they're like brothers to me. I love them to death. But yeah, it was a very weird place for me to be in. So this season 4, I'm going to start a female only series. I'm going to start on Tuesdays, I think
Okay.
like once a month. So
Okay.
that's going to be really good. And I'm just excited to bring in more feminine energy, because Life with G is not me with 3 men. It is me and my homegirls and all these powerful boss women. I don't want people to get that impression anymore. So I love
Yeah.
them, but I'm really excited to bring that female core back. So yeah.
That's dope. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out, like, I think I need a new strategy for this year. So
Hmm.
I actually, right before Christmas, I linked up with a content creator out here in Charlotte, and he does really cute little skits on his TikTok. And so he
Hmm.
took me to brunch one day. We went in because I met him through my Facebook DMs, and he was like, I watched your podcast. I like the name. I thought of a dozen skits I could do with Hoe-busters. You need to jump
Hmm.
on this wave. Like, I've only been doing this for a few weeks, and look at my TikTok. So I go and I look, girl, some of his videos have 400,000+ views.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh shit, right? And so we went to brunch.
Yeah.
We met at a really cute spot out here in Charlotte. And I'm just like dressed in my brunch attire, my little loafers and stuff, my little turtlenecks.
Mhm.
And he's like, we're gonna turn on the camera, start doing some skits. And I'm like, today? Right now?
Yeah.
So we did.
I love that. That's
Listen,
gonna
he
be
had
so
these
much
like
fun for you.
was. And so, girl, one of our videos, he posted, I think, not even a week ago. It's got like 40,000 views on it. And I'm like, it's got like 3,000 comments. I'm like, oh, shit, this might be it for me.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd be acting, girl. What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? But I say, you know
Live
what?
your hey, I love this for you.
It's just so funny because it's so not what I was planning to do. But I even started
Right.
thinking, like, what could I do to bring more viewers to the show to just get more engagement up? And so I
Yeah.
wanted, so I was like, I'll help him with his platform, help him get the content and stuff because we just have great energy and chemistry on camera. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Girl, and he's so
Nice.
open and just he talks to everybody. He was pulling the waiters in on the skits. It was just so funny.
I
And so I'm
love
like, I can
that.
use you to start highlighting, like, we could do funny ass dating skits. We can reenact situations
Yes.
from my marriage and dealing with a narcissistic person. We can do so
Mhm.
much. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready to hit the ground running. I said we might be linking this weekend and try to get a little bit more done.
Love
But
that.
girl, I'm nervous because I didn't even expect this video to do this, but he updates me like every few
Yeah.
hours. Look at this, it's another 5,000. Oh my god, I can't believe this.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, lean into that. I'm all everything happens for a reason,
It
you know?
does.
And yet that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
So I'm very excited. And I for my show, because I'm right here in Charlotte, there's so many people who I'm learning like live here and music artists. And, we've got the
Mhm.
Hornets and all that stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start tapping in. And there's some big YouTubers out here as well. So
Yeah.
my goal for 2025 is to start hitting these folks. So I'm going to work and spend some time finishing my media
Yeah.
kit and stuff this weekend. And I'm going to go ham just reaching out because the worst they're going to say is no.
No, that was probably my biggest thing was like, I'm scared to ask people to come on the podcast because when they're like, can you pay me? I'll be like, one day I'm going to be able to do that. But right now it's for the so it's like, but people are very willing to come on
They
camera and
are.
just have the platform. Just the fact that someone's willing to let them tell their story,
Yeah,
they fuck with it. So,
they
hey,
do.
put
And you
yourself
know
out
what?
there. You're right.
Absolutely. I said that again. I'm at a point where I'm learning rejection is not always such a bad thing. I think when you're able to
Exactly.
handle being rejected and hearing the no's, 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 it really helps you develop thicker skin. I mean, now I'm just like, I could give
Hmm.
a fuck when you're dealing with trolls, and I'm sure you probably get it sometimes on your page of people talking shit and, oh, you sound stupid, you sound this, you look crazy, whatever the fuck. I have such thick skin, I don't care. So it's like you're either gonna say yes or no, and so I'm
I'm
willing to
not
just
gonna
take.
lie to you. I'm terrified of that. So everybody right now, so far, that's following us are really like it's like a small
Supportive.
little family. It's like a little cult or something. I
Yeah.
love them to death, but I know it's coming. I'm like, consistency. I'm like, one day, if everything goes as planned, it's gonna hit. We're gonna get more views, and I know I'm gonna have to brace for that because people are
People
brutal.
people are very, very
Yeah.
mean. I don't know. Well, you're not following me on Facebook, but and again, because I do the modeling, I get, stop telling her
Hmm.
she's cute. She looks fucking fat. She's one burger away from a heart attack. That shit is not flattering.
Mm.
She needs some better spanks. Her titties are saggy. And I say, you know what? I learned people are just so miserable. But what I do is
Yeah.
I try to gauge their comments against some of the rude, nasty, and just completely disrespectful shit my ex used to say to my face, and it never
Mm.
compares. He used to say some of the
Yeah.
nastiest shit to my fucking face. So now I'm like, when I get these
Mm.
trolls, I just laugh half the time. And it definitely, girl, brace yourself because it will come. You'll have
Yeah.
people who hear your relationship stories like, you're a dumb bitch. Why you stay with this motherfucker for all them years? You stupid. You this. Yeah, and it's just like, this is what it was. And I'm not there no more. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
stupid. I was, looking foolish, but it's different now. But you'll develop
Right.
some thick skin. And I say one thing I'm trying to learn because I still find myself in a space where I want to explain, right? It's like I'm so used to
Yeah.
having played myself. So even I had a this was right maybe like before Christmas, and I actually took a screenshot. He sent me 10 messages. He was so angry because I did a video of myself at a Christmas party and I was just dancing and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm in my divorced era and divorce looks good on me. And
I already know where this is going. Yeah, what did he say?
I could probably pull it up real quick on my Facebook. Let me see.
Yeah, there's one thing when a man sees a woman celebrating her singleness, that is the quickest way to piss him off, and I don't understand it because they love being single. We let y'all enjoy being single.
This is what he said, and I posted to my Facebook. He says, her big ass gonna be online in 6 months or sooner, racked with guilt for being a neophyte hoe. She's gonna contract one of those diseases, and it's not gonna be good. It'll be tears, violence, and pray for me, y'all type of shit. What she'll get from me if I ever happen to run across Miss Hips is the seldom fuck you and pile of shit emojis instead. Now,
And then at that point, it's like, who are you really angry at? Because it can't be her. It can't be her for real. That's crazy.
I thought it was so funny, and I had looked at his page because this was on Threads too, and I looked at his profile picture. Girl, he's older than my daddy. This man in his late 60s.
Of course.
His name was Nate something, and so I'm like, Mr. Nate, who hurt you? Why you so hurt, Mr.
Right.
Nate, by me? So you better be glad I'm in a space where I have nothing but love to share and good energy to spread. And all I'm gonna do is I'm about to go get me some beauty sleep. But I'm gonna pray for you tonight, Mr. Nate. And he kept coming back. 10 messages, girl. And I said, I suggest, Mr. Nate, you take a little time, take a break from social media, okay? Go get some healing, go get some therapy, go lay on the couch, go talk to somebody.
Oh, man.
By the end of the messages, he had to apologize. And I was surprised. Most of the trolls will not apologize, but I was very surprised that he actually took the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of women who are in the type of situations that we're in, most of us, when we finally work up the courage to leave, we don't want nothing to do. We don't really want nothing from you. We want to detach as much as we possibly can because I ended up finding a way to get it free. I didn't ask for anything, no alimony, of course. And then they hit me with child support. So I was like, what hell?
Still can't get over this shit.
It's one of them things.
Only thing I wanted out of my divorce was my last name back. I did not want to carry his name. I said, I don't give a fuck if my last name is different from my kids because my last name is Forbes. So I'm like, I never wanted to lose Forbes anyway. Like, that Forbes last name got me through doors I never did. But just because they think there's some connection. I wish there was a damn connection, girl. Like you said, you spend so much time making up your mind to make this move. You don't want shit from these men. Just give me some peace. Like, because you can't put a price on that. If I know what I know now a lot sooner, oh, girl, I'd have been left. But I say, I'm grateful to have taken away the lessons from the situation. It took me months to even cry about it. You know what I mean? Like, and I had my girlfriend say, you need to get a good cry out, girl. I'm like, I ain't got no reason to cry, girl. But then I feel like when things hit me, like, and I only just let out this cry probably like October. It probably took me a whole year of being away, separated before it hit me. Like, oh shit, I'm a single mother. Everything is on me now. This man did me so wrong. I'm never going to get through 20s or my early 30s back. I'm pushing 40 now. Oh shit. And that's when I feel like it hit me. And I was able to let out that cry. And I ain't cried since.
Yeah, I wanna ask you because I'm curious. What was there a specific conversation, argument? What was like the snap moment for you where you were like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done.
So I shared how I got the Hoe-busters name in January of 23. When I was upgrading his cell phone that I got him for Christmas. I found his long-term girlfriend, his first girlfriend, who I learned through his best friends. He used to say was his soulmate, but she left him. And so he settled for me. And when I learned that he still was in contact with her, I basically gave him like 8 months because my birthday's in August. So I was like, yo, you got 8 months to show me something different because I really want a divorce. But in these 8 months, we're opening up our marriage. Since you've been out fucking the whole time, I'm about to be out fucking too. And it was crazy. I never went out and fucked. I went out and dated and talked to men on the phone, but the whole time I was married, I never slept with anyone. And so, but I started working on me. He started a new job like the springtime of 23. And he just was feeling himself, girl. Like real pressed about needing to wear his Dolce cologne and this and that. Gotta go, get his haircuts all the time when he wasn't really big on it before. Was like, I ain't gonna spend the money. But I'm like, oh, I'm watching. It's somebody in his head or in his ear, right?
Yeah, he getting ready for somebody.
Oh, he was with somebody. 2 weeks before my birthday, I peeped that He'd come home from work. He would never ask me how my day was going. He'd sit there and pour through his entire day. This happened. I went to this home. I went to this, and this people did this, and this woman did this, and da 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 da. But not once was it, what happened in your day, baby? How was your day going? So I started realizing he just really stopped giving a fuck, right? And he just really kind of started getting like this ego just getting very inflated. And I started having anxiety attacks that year. Never had panic attacks or anxiety attacks in my life. No, he was talking to 2 different women from his high school. My ex had a thing for the bitches from his high school. I mean,
they always do.
90% of the women I caught him cheating with came from his high school. This all y'all do is send these sexual ass memes. Because what if I'm sending this to somebody? Would you care? And then that's when he said this line to me. I don't give a fuck what you do out here. I could walk in on you sucking the biggest, blackest dick in the world, and there's nothing you can do to make me leave you. And I thought, this sounds crazy. Now you sound like you're trying to manipulate me to believe that if there's nothing I can do to make you leave me, there should be nothing that you can do to make me leave you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the mind games all the fucking time. This is the weekend we were having a family reunion. And my family was hosting it here in Charlotte. So all my family, I have a huge family. Everybody was here in Charlotte, getting here, driving here, flying in. And this particular day, work was slow. And I had all his passwords. So I tapped into his Facebook. And I remember I turned my notifications on. Immediately when he gets to work, I'm getting DMs from him. Some bitch. She's like, oh, you smell so good today. Oh my God, you look so nice. I'm so glad you take care of your body and always make sure you smell delicious and blah, 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 blah. All the stories, all the work stories. I've never heard this name before. I'm just watching. I'm watching. Girl, hour later, another girl is messaging. So now we're talking 4 women in
oh no,
just a span of like a week, 2 weeks. And I'm just watching. And I'm like, I'm just watching. I'm taking screenshots too, because every time he'd respond, he'd delete the messages. So I'm like, that's why I never see anything in the phone.
That's why you never catch him.
Never, because he deleted them immediately. And so I'm taking hella screenshots all fucking day. And he was making plans like, hey, I got to come out there, get my hair cut for an event this weekend, my reunion. I'm trying to fuck. You know, like, you gonna be available? And she's like, damn, I'm actually gonna be out of town for a contract job. But next weekend, because I need you to fuck me good, because you've been playing, and I was trying to play with myself this morning. You wasn't available. You wasn't answering your phone. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like watching like, wow. And
that's what we doing?
When I tell you, she was so girl, I would DM you the picture of her so you can look and see who he traded me for, okay? Because I still keep it. And I just laugh every time I see like, you traded your family for her.
For that. Wow.
I said, this is days prior to my birthday, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what I wanted him to get me as a gift, because he just we weren't big on celebrating holidays, because it was always like he made holidays seem like such a headache or a burden. So I trained myself, don't worry about gifts, don't ask for anything. But he kept asking, what you want for your birthday? So I remember when we get to the end of the conversation, she's talking about, oh, I need you to choke me. I want you to do this. And I need you to fuck me for hours. And so now I'm shaking mad, right? Like,
yes, because it's overkill. Like at this point, like y'all doing too much. What the hell?
And so now I chime in and I'm talking as if I'm him. And I said something along the lines of, I'm only going to be able to fuck you for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you're going to have to probably finish yourself off, because I'm going to roll over and go to sleep.
Oh my.
She was like, well, damn, can I get a couple rounds at least? I still got the screenshots. She's like, can I get a couple rounds? And I said, nah, usually I'm one and done. So again, you're going to have to, hit yourself right after that. Girl, next thing I know, the messages are gone. The girl is blocked and he calls me. Hey, baby, what's going on? I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just sitting here with the kids and just talking like everything's good. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm about to get off work soon. I was like, well, guess what? I finally thought about what I want for my birthday. He's like, what? I'm like, I want a fucking divorce. That'll be the best. That'll be the best gift you can give me, bitch. And
oh my gosh.
Started going off, and why the fuck would you go through my phone? You're always invading my privacy. I can't have shit here with you. And I'm like, no, it's okay. You want to be single. I wasn't even trying to fuck that girl. I was just trying to get her to send me nude pictures so I can send them to my homeboys in the group chat, because my friends keep clowning me for being the married loser.
Oh, I'm going to show you a loser, all right. Wow.
Well, now you can go be single like the rest of those losers.
Right. Now he's divorced and a loser. Wow. Jeez.
That was it for me. And it was so funny because of my friend. I wanted him to go home. Get the fuck out of here. Go to your mama's for the weekend. I need to be around my family. I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
So he insisted because we were so good at putting on the mask, smiling, make sure everything's pretty
Yeah.
on social media. We're fucking life goals. We're family of the fucking year, right?
Mhm.
But I actually let him stay for the weekend because it was my birthday. They took me to the strip club. There's moments when we go to the strip clubs together. Not that it would like upset me, but you know, when sometimes the bitches be going in and it's like,
Yeah.
this nigga dick getting hard. Well, goddamn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I'd be a bit in my feelings. I won't lie. But at the strip club this time, this girl. She was taller than me. Really tall, light skin. He had a thing for the light skinned girls. He was like, "Oh, it's my wife's birthday." So she's like, "Okay, let's go to VIP." And she's like, "But carry me." So she jumps on his back like a little kid, right? And
Mhm.
he's like carrying her. I probably would have been in my feelings a year prior. I felt
Mm.
nothing. I got the most play from these bitches. I got the most lap dance. I had the
Mhm.
most fun. I didn't give a fuck about him. Girl, my nephew was even in the damn strip club. Like, Auntie, no.
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
It was just a moment for me where I realized, damn, if I feel nothing here,
Then
I'm
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 done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
There was just really no going back from there, honey. So
Yeah.
that was a long ass story, I know.
No, no, I love that. I love that. I always like to ask that question because every woman has that moment where you try to hang on for so long, but
Yeah,
when you finally just let go, that is the best feeling. And it looks different for everybody, but you're just like, holy shit, I don't care anymore.
don't give
And
a
it just
fuck.
switches like that. I love that. I love it.
Yes, girl. So I have my signature question I like to ask,
Yes.
and since this is the Hoe-busters podcast, and this you can tie this into your moment as well, where
God.
if it applies, tell me a time you had to be a hoe-buster.
I really like to put my private investigator hat on when I think that there's some bullshit happening. So
Mm.
I've caught many a hoes
Ah,
many of times. I think my favorite, I won't say when this happened because this was really like research. So it was a fun game. I like once you realize you're getting played and you don't have enough information, you're like, yeah, you think I'm stupid. I'm about to show you how smart I am.
girl.
So I compiled a lot of evidence, but it all started with his email being open on my phone.
Mm,
And I just opened up my phone browser like I normally would, and it was right there. And curiosity, my
yeah.
intuition had been going. I was like, I don't know what he not telling me, but he not telling me something.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a Cash App transaction, and I was like, that looks like it's from a female. And I kind of put it away. Over the course of a few months, I was able to find out who the woman was, potentially where she stayed,
Mm.
etc. and so on. And the final time, because I caught him in a couple engagements, but they try to explain it away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that. Oh, it's an
You're
ex. It's a,
thinking too much. Mm-hmm.
whatever. Yeah.
Right.
And I actually went to the address that I had found on the iPad. It was like a suggested address. It wasn't even something he had saved. He had his location services off on the iPad actually. So I really had to go digging for this. I noticed his address that was out of place from the rest of them. I
Mm-hmm.
kid you not. It was a weekend night. I was supposed to see him. I didn't see him. Some came up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I remember I was with my homegirl. We were on the couch downstairs, and I said, I really want to pull up to this address that I found in his iPad.
Mm.
But I was too tired. So I was
Okay.
like, she was like, no, sis, go to bed. So I went to bed. But I woke up at 5 a.m. with a mission and a purpose. And I
Mm.
gassed up my car and I drove an hour and a half watching the sunrise,
Shit.
saw his car, and I was like,
You
got
know,
it. Took a picture and I went back. Took a picture and went back. I
you
sent
better
him
than
a
me. I'd
text.
be ready to kick down doors.
See,
Shit.
but you never know. In 2024, I
Right.
don't know what she got in
Right.
there. I was like, I don't know who she stay with. I'm not trying to do all that because you know what? If he here, that's where he want to be. So
Yeah.
I said,
Very
okay, that's everything I needed to see. I took a photo just so he couldn't explain it away. And yeah, that's how I think that's the most interesting and fun adventure I've gone on
sweet.
to
Oh,
bust a hoe, just a random address in the iPad. So yeah.
easy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that was
the audacity for me. You're using my shit as if I'm not gonna go research and check in history, whatever the case is. Just
yeah.
oh my god, it's been so many times.
Yeah, no. And I hate when they try to make you feel bad about finding out the truth. My thing is this, don't take away my choice. And if you're really that good of a man, you should be able to satisfy both of us and keep it kosher, right? If that's really what you want to do. and you should be able to be transparent about it. But you can't withstand two women. A lot of these men don't have what it takes to support two women, not in all the ways that you're supposed to be supporting your partner. And then
No.
they get mad. But you took my choice. I deserve to choose to be with somebody like you, and I
Thank,
don't want to. I'm
thank
going to take it back. I don't like
girl.
that. And I just never understood why men, because I feel like men who have those tendencies have pretty much always had those tendencies since they got out in the dating world
Yeah.
most of the time. And I always wonder why they even choose to settle down and have a wife in the first place.
You know, I was listening to something not too long ago, and I follow the guy on YouTube, Mental Healness. And I would love to get him on my show because he lives right here in Charlotte too. So he put out a video where he talked about narcissistic men. It's like they know that men are viewed like, I guess it just makes them, they're viewed higher if they have like a wife, the kids. So they'll find somebody to like, okay, she married me, cool, but they're not going to be putting in the work to like make it a happy marriage. They're not going to be putting in
I
the work
got
to
you.
make it like they want to have the bragging rights. Like my ex
Right,
used
it's
to
for
tell me, I'm
sure.
a husband. I'm not a baby's dad. I'm a husband.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what I had to learn with some of these people. Like it ain't even about you. It ain't even about them loving you. It ain't about them wanting to grow with you. It's about you make me look good. You raise my
Yeah.
stock
Yeah.
because women want what they can't have. So, oh, he's married. He look nice. He doing this. He got a good job. Bitch, our life looks nice because of me. He in my house. He's driving my cars. We're taking these trips on me and my dime. You know what I mean? So it's like it's about the image. It's all
Yeah.
about the image for them and how they're portrayed. So they love, like my ex used to love posting pictures of us online. Like, look at my beautiful, gorgeous wife. Oh, she's the gasoline to my fire. Well, you sure ain't treating me like it when you
And they
tell me
love to
this shit
post
and
on
talking this
social
crazy.
media. Yep.
Honey, just again to give that image and get the likes and the adoration and the validation too. And so now I'm like, oh, I see all the signs. And I'm like, my next relationship, you ain't gonna know I have a man until we pop up married.
Yeah, very much. Very
Girl,
much
I'm
so.
not playing with y'all. Like, I never want to go and put out, oh, these wonderful, happy pictures, knowing damn well it's probably not even what we live in. And when I tried to
Yeah.
address that with him, like, hey, we gotta stop putting out this phony shit. Like, this is embarrassing. You're talking to too many of your counselor cousins, and you need to stop letting them get in your head. That's not true. And then I remember coming across an article on like some platform one day, maybe like BuzzFeed or one of those, through the news app. And it was like couples who post like excessively on social media be the ones who have the most trouble. Because
Yeah.
it's like you're trying to convince not just yourself, but you're trying to convince the world that everything's good. We're
Yeah.
happy, we're loving, we're thriving, we're taking great trips, we're doing all this wonderful shit. That picture is a split second in time.
Yeah.
Like I said, nobody knew of the times when I'm crying, wiping tears out my eyes, and then smiling for the picture. You don't know. And then
Yeah.
we're going back to cussing and fussing, and we're sleeping in separate rooms at night. So it's like, I never want to do that again. Like the ones who need to know, they'll know. But we don't have to do this for the world. And then we fuck around, and then now we're not together again. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
you live and you learn.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yes,
completely
girl.
agree.
All right, y'all. Well, there it is. Another wonderful episode wrapped up of the Hoe-busters Podcast. And special thanks to my girl G, the host of the Life of G podcast. I appreciate you coming on today and having a wonderful conversation with me. This was a lot of fun, and I knew it would be, girl.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, no problem. We definitely going to be linking again soon because
Yes.
this is a good flow right here, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, thanks to all of you out there for tuning in, watching or listening. Remember, we're available on YouTube and all the podcast streaming apps from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all that good stuff. Please make sure you take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channels on any of the platforms, drop us some comments, and let us know how you like the episode as well. If you are interested in being a guest on an upcoming episode, please reach out to me or apply on the website www.hoe-busters.com and submit the application, and I will get back to you. And if you're in the Charlotte area, I'd love to have you come and join me in person in studio so we can kiki and cut it up. But thanks again, G, and until next time, peace.
Bye.